Hello everyone, today I'm going to present to you a very interesting game, of course played by Rasheed Nezhmeldenof. This time he will play against Mikhail Tal. Of course you know what's going to happen when two most famous attacking chess players face each other. Before we start, here we have a very easy chess puzzle. If you can solve it, how can you checkmate black? It's white's turn. How can you checkmate black? Write down the moves in the comments below and you will see if you get the answer. Now on with the game. We're going to start the game. Of course, first Rasheed Nezhmeldenof is in white, Mikhail Tal in black, and this game was played in 1961 just after Mikhail Tal lost his rematch against Botvinnik, and Botvinnik retained the world champion. Now, Nezhmeldenof started with white playing e4. Now, Mikhail Tal responded with c5, the Sicilian defense. Knight to f3, pawn d6. Now proceeded with the pawn d4, take with the knight. Knight to f6, knight to c3. Now proceeded his pawn, opening. This is called the Shevenigan variation, and white proceeded his bishop to f2 to f to e2, and now played a6, preventing the bishop to take the square, of course. And white castled kingside. Tal played queen to c7. He opened up his f pawn to f4, opening the diagonal, and here Tal played knight to d7. Now in this position, as you know, Rasheed has no patience in waiting. He wanted to complicate the position, and he played pawn to g4, and it's really very complicating. How would you open your kingside pawns and proceeding with the attack? In this position, black played, Tal played knight to b5, pawn to b5, sorry. And of course, before proceeding his bishop, he should prevent this pawn from advancing by playing a3, of course, because if you advance, then take, and then he will be lost a pawn. Now bishop to b7, bishop to f3, protecting, of course, adding more pressure on this pawn. Of course, it is suggested not to play this position. You either play h6, preventing this pawn from advancing, or playing knight to b6, adding more pressure. Of course, this is the most logical play. You can add more pressure on this pawn. Now here queen to e2, adding more defense onto this pawn, and here Tal played e5, advancing the pawn in the middle. Now Rasheed played f5, and Tal was trying to prevent this move by playing g6, and then played f7. Of course, you have to take in this position. If Rasheed played g3, then this is not going to be an advantage for him. It will be favorable for black if you can proceed by playing knight to e6, and then advancing your pawn. Take, and then play this position. Here we have, in this position, this is favorable for black. It will be a little bit advantages for black. So this was not the best move to move away your knight. He had to take. So in this position, black took the pawn on e5, and then just now moving his knight away. Also, if there's any potential any intentional way of castling your king side. This is not going to be possible because he's taking over the h6 square with his knight. And then knight, Tal played knight to e6, g2, and then Tal made a blunder. He played bishop to g7. This was not the best way of advancing. He should have played knight to f4. In this position, you can white will take and then advance his pawn, threatening. Can play knight to d6, d5, then take knight d5, take with the pawn, giving up his knight. And just now check, and this bishop will be retainable. He can take it. And we block with the queen, take, and then prevent it with the just threatening the queen, move away, take with the knight, and then pinning the queen to the king. Check to help to find a way just to get away of the pin, the nasty pin, then moving away, protecting it, take. In this position, maybe white is advanced, but he has no way to make up his lost pieces. This was the best continuation, but just Tal, what was the idea from this move, I don't know. And take, just now in this position, Nezhmeldenof sacrificed his rook for the sake of having the initiative, and Tal took happily the rook. Here we have knight to d5, and Tal moved away his queen. This was not the best continuation. It's considered as a blunder because if you take, then take in this position, threatening the bishop. You can just threaten, and here we have a discovery attack, just moving away this pawn. Then you can attack this rook, and the pawn is attacking the queen, and here we have checks. It's a very nasty move, but Nezhmeldenof didn't see this move, so didn't see moving away the queen. So here we have queen to f2, threatening, just take, in this position, take, and here we have the best move was, this is considered also a blunder for Nezhmeldenof. It was better to take the pawn. Better to take the pawn on f4, because after you take, then here we have a check. You can move away. Tal will castle queen side, protecting the king. Here we have a discovery, the fork on the two rooks, and the best continuation from the computer is to take on b2. Will take, and then protecting the knight. Here, of course, playing rook to e8, giving away his rook, take, and here threatening to take the queen, move away, take the knight, and advancing this position, take, and you will be an advantage for, of course, taking away the pawns in this position. It's a draw. So this was not the best way to play, to continue. And here we have take with the bishop, pinning the bishop on e5, and Tal was trying to protect the bishop with f6. What do you think the best continuation for Nezhmeldenof? In this position, he just destroyed the black's defenses, and here we have the winning move, which is knight takes on f6, destroying the defenses, and take with the queen. Here we have queen to d4, of course making use of the spin, and of course you can see that the bishop is almost gone, and you can't castle king side because the knight is preventing castling kingside. In this position, the queen moved out of the way, getting rid of the pin. Now take. Tal was trying to make some, of course, exchanging the queen just to make some compensation, but in this position Nezhmeldenof played rook to f5, sacrificing his rook, and you have to take in this position. Here we have check, taking the rook on h8, moving out of the way, check on g7, moving out of the way, and here we have check in this position. Mikhail Tal resigned because after this continuation you are going to move your king to d6, and then we have this fork and your queen is gone and you're losing the game. What an amazing game by Nezhmeldenof. And of course, if you can find the quote from Mikhail Tal, he said this was the best game of his life, or the best moment of his life. Not winning the world champion, but to lose in this fashion. He really liked the playing style of Nezhmeldenof. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any recommendations, please write it down in the comments. Thank you very much, and like the video if you like it. Follow the channel for more videos. Thank you very much.